Hi, 7th graders. Today you are going to learn more about skill proofreading. This skill will help you take any written response and elevate it to a more mature place. Generally, I feel unedited work can be seen in the same way as you would look at a dirty, smelly outfit. Yeah, it might look good from a distance, but when you get closer to it, ew, yuck. You can smell it, you can see the stains, and you know this is not good. So, you do not want your written response to be like that. You want it to look good from a distance, and then when the reader reads it, you want it to also be good. So by 7th grade, you are expected to clean up your writing. That means you need to leave some time to go back and reread and find your mistakes and fix them. You will never be able to earn the best grade for your written responses if they are full of needless, careless errors. Anyway, the most mature writers, the best writers, always go back and proofread, and you should too. So, what is proofreading? Let's take a look at two basic definitions. Definition 1. Proofreading is to read and mark corrections in your work. Definition number 2. Proofreading is when you read your rough copy, find errors, and correct them. So those are two basic definitions of proofreading. In fact, your rough copy is also known as a first draft, and it should have editing marks all over it. Whether you are handwriting or typing, you must carefully proofread and mark your errors with a red or other color pen. This is not optional. And even if you need to pause and print out your first draft in order to do these proofreading marks, you need to do it because it's going to, once again, elevate your writing. Your final writing will be a better product. So, what should your focus be? That's a good question. When you proofread, you really only need to focus on what we call conventions. Most kids call this grammar mistakes. These are those tiny, small, headachy, nuisance, needless errors that basically dirty up your writing and make the reader a little bit confused about your message. So you really don't need to focus on any ideas. When you proofread, you are focusing on tiny little mistakes that just drag your writing down. So let's take a look at the 4 areas that you would focus on. So you would focus on capitalization, usage, which is grammar usage, punctuation, and spelling. Those are your 4 categories for proofreading. So it's time for a quick recap. Remember, proofreading is the process of finding and fixing spelling, grammar usage, punctuation, and capitalization mistakes. This is also known as cups. Careful proofreading can help you catch errors before the reader does. Next, proofreading does not require you to change your ideas. It is also not the time to restructure your entire response. Focus only on convention errors. This means cups. Finally, a few proofreading tips. Read your response slowly and read it over several times. Focus on a different area each time you read it through. Mark your corrections with a red pen. You can even use a spell checker or your phone to fix misspelled words. Replace repetitive words with synonyms to give you're writing a little bit of variety. So to make proofreading a little bit easier, you can use a spell checking device. You can also go old school and use a regular dictionary or a regular paper thesaurus. If you don't have any of these handy, you could probably use your device because your device has a version of all three of these. Finally, you will need to begin to use some proofreading marks and symbols. I will also be using these marks and symbols as I grade your responses, so you need to get used to seeing them and using them. So now is a good time to list these symbols in your journal and begin to memorize them and begin to use them. This is not all of the proofreading symbols, but this is a good amount to start with just to get you going. Okay, 7th graders, this has been proofreading. Hope you learned something, and bye.